Hi, welcome to the Sew Along 2018 that we're doing in New Zealand with New Zealand fabrics. Well, I'm doing it with New Zealand fabrics, you might not be. So thanks for joining me. We're going to do block 5 this time. So I've got block 5 sitting up on my board over here, and you're probably familiar with the quilt by now. And I'm just going to go through a tutorial. You'll have, if you purchase the pattern, you'll have the pattern with all the information for cutting and things. And I'm just going to go ahead and start showing you how to put this lovely tree block together. So I've already cut my pieces out, and this time we're doing some little half square triangles similar to what we've done before, but just a little bit different. We're not doing them into a square, we're putting them onto a rectangle so that we're going to make what they call a flying geese, which is that triangle unit with the background corners. So I've already cut out my rectangles here, all the measurements are in your pattern. And I've got my corner squares here, so we're going to be, and I've already drawn a line on, so again with my mechanical pencil or my ruler, just a diagonal line through the center of the background square. And we're going to position those onto our rectangles to make our triangle units, which are called flying geese by lots of people, but they make themselves into trees and all sorts of other useful things, not necessarily geese, I have to say. And so I'm going to get those ready, and I'm going to piece them through. So I'm going to position that so that it sits right on top of the rectangle and sew right along that diagonal line. So I'll go ahead and start doing that. And you can chain piece these through the same as we've been doing. We're making 2 of everything, so it's quite good to get everything ready before we start. Get the next one ready. And one more. There's 3 sections to this tree. You want that diagonal line going up towards the center part of that rectangle to make the point at the top. So sewing right on that line. Then we can take those out, and I'm just going to snip them apart and trim them and press them before I do the next section, because it will be easier that way. So I'm just going to trim off now 1/4 inch away into the little triangle area. Now I haven't done a double line of sewing like we've done with some of our other things, because these are smaller and I wasn't sure that we wanted to save those. However, if you want to save some super tiny ones, you go right ahead. Do your double line of stitching and trim them away, but I felt that that was getting a little bit small. So I'm just going to trim those off and then press them, and then we'll come and put the other sides on as well. Just get rid of those little triangles. Bring the iron across. Now I'm going to press these so that the seam goes out towards the background fabric. Now we've kind of got half a geese. Not sure what half a geese is good for, but okay, so I've got my 3 units like that now, and I've still got 3 triangles with the line on, because they're going to go on the other end, and we're going to sew along that diagonal line there. So I'm just going to come back to the machine and do that line. And I have found it easier. You might have noticed that I started stitching from up here along this sort of straight edge rather than starting at the point. I just find it is easier not to start at the point if I can avoid it. I need to trim these before I press them. Just the same as we've just done. Lay the 1/4 inch line on that stitching line. With your ruler, cut 1/4 inch away from the stitching line. And then we're going to press them. again out towards that background triangle. And here we've got some nice little segments of our tree. So now I can start seeing that my tree is coming together. We're going to have some side strips on that block to bring it up, and then we've just got to do the trunk of the tree. So this piece here is just 3 little strips, so we just need to join those to make that little segment there. And guess what? I'm going to press it again. I'm going to press it in towards the little tree trunk. And so that should now all be the same size as our tree wedges. So now we just need to join those together. So we can join them in pairs so that we can pop it through in a chain, and then we can come back and join that pair together and then press and then put the sides on. So we want the trunk at the bottom. We don't really have tree trunks in the middle maybe. No, I think at the bottom. Now just join those. And I think I'll do some more pressing. Now I'm going to start at the tree trunk, and I'm going to press all those seams up. Some of them might not be too happy about that idea because of the way the triangles and things sit, but it's probably a better way to have it where there's a double overlap seam at the point of each segment. It's got a thicker lot of seams, so it's better to let that sit flat and push the other ones up. So that's that bit done, and now we've just got to put our sides on, and our block will be done. So exciting, all this. So I've put my strips on, and I'm going to go back to the machine and I'm going to press them. So I'm going to press them out towards the sides and the other one. And this is pretty exciting because we're just getting through these blocks. So there's my second tree block. So I think that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. So that was block 5 in the sew along, and so we'll see you next time for block 6. Thank you.